The pain cuts deep when you realize she's crying over you one moment and in another man's bed the next. It's not that what you shared meant nothing, it's that her emotions in the moment overpowered any loyalty she claimed to have. Not some villain. She's weak, unable to sit with the discomfort of missing you, so she seeks escape in the arms of someone new. It's not about him, it's about the distraction, the temporary high that numbs the ache of losing you. You're left staring at the wreckage, trying to make sense of how the woman who swore she loved you could so easily give herself to someone who didn't earn an ounce of what you poured into her. Her tears are real, but they're not a promise. She can mourn you and still crave another man's touch because her emotions aren't rooted in truth. They're anchored to whatever feeling dominates her in the moment. If sadness hits, she weep for you. If boredom or restlessness takes over, she chase the next thrill. That's the brutal reality. Women like this don't choose men, they choose emotions. And when your presence doesn't match the vibe she's chasing, she trades your love for chaos without a second thought. It shatters your sense of reality. Because you believed love was a choice, not just a fleeting reaction. But here's the awakening. Her actions were never about your worth. They were about her inability to handle real love, the kind that isn't loud or dramatic, but steady and true. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop drowning in why and start rebuilding. She didn't betray you because you weren't enough. She betrayed you because she wasn't strong enough, and that's a wound only time and distance can heal. Her tears trick you into believing she still cares, but don't confuse sorrow for loyalty. Women mourn what's familiar, not just what's lost. She'll cry into her pillow, replay your old messages, even tell her friends she regrets letting you go, but none of that means she's coming back. Those tears are just her way of purging. Guilt's not changing her choices. She's grieving the comfort you provided, not the future she threw away. And once that wave of emotion passes, she reset, ready to chase the next fleeting feeling that makes her pulse race. This is the cruel paradox of female nature. They crave security but often mistake intensity for love. Your steady devotion became invisible because it didn't come with drama, push-pull, no mind games, just unwavering presence. Meanwhile, the guy who treats her like an afterthought feels exciting precisely because he's unreliable. His inconsistency triggers her obsession. Your reliability became background noise. It's not fair, but it's human psychology. People chase what keeps them guessing, even when what they already have is everything they claim to want. So when you see her crying over you one day and smiling with someone new the next, understand those tears weren't a bridge back to you. They were just a pit stop on her way to another distraction. She's not lying when she says she misses you. She's just wired to prioritize how she feels right now over what she knows is true. That's why you can't trust her emotions, only her patterns. And if her pattern is to weep over the past while repeating the same mistakes, then her tears are worthless. Let them fall. Your job isn't to wipe them away. It's to walk away before they drown you too. Her leaving was never about your shortcomings. It was about her inability to handle the weight of real love. You offered stability, depth, and a love that didn't play games, but she wasn't ready for that. She mistook peace for boredom, consistency for lack of passion. The irony. The very things she one day craved, loyalty, safety, a love that doesn't keep her guessing, were the things she walked away from. She didn't reject you. She rejected the mirror you held up to her own emotional immaturity. Women like this operate on impulse, not wisdom. They confuse the adrenaline of chaos with genuine connection. The guy who blows hot and cold feels like a challenge, a puzzle to solve, and that addictive uncertainty tricks her into thinking it must be love. Meanwhile, your steady presence didn't trigger those same highs, so she convinced herself it wasn't enough. But here's the truth. She didn't choose him over you, she chose her own dysfunction. She chose the roller coaster because the steady ground felt unfamiliar, even terrifying. This is the hardest pill to swallow. Her choices reveal her character, not your value. You could have been perfect, Han. She still would have sabotaged it because she wasn't whole enough to recognize what she had. One day, when the drama loses its shine, she'll remember the man who loved her without conditions. But by then, you'll be long gone, rebuilt into someone who no longer settles for love that comes with tears and empty apologies. Let her live with that regret. Your closure isn't in her awakening. It's in realizing she was never the prize. Your peace is the moment you truly begin healing, is the moment you stop checking for her name in your notifications. Detachment isn't indifference, it's the conscious decision to stop letting her emotional chaos dictate your peace. Every time you replay her words or analyze her mixed signals, you're feeding a wound that only time and silence can heal. She doesn't get to cry over you while sleeping with someone else and still occupy space in your mind. That's the ultimate betrayal, not just of your trust, but of your future self. This is where most men fail. They mistake distance for punishment when it's actually liberation. Blocking her isn't petty, it's preservation. The gym isn't just about physical transformation. It's about reclaiming the discipline she eroded with her indecision. Every morning you wake up without reaching for your phone to check her social media is a small victory. These aren't acts of bitterness, they're the foundation of your resurrection. The man she knew is gone. Not because he died, but because he finally recognized his worth. Her tears will come not when you're begging for another chance, But when she realizes you've truly moved on, that's the paradox of detachment. The less you care, the more she'll question everything. But by then, her curiosity won't matter. You'll have built a life where her approval is irrelevant, where her late-night "I miss you" texts get deleted, unread. This isn't about winning her back, it's about becoming someone who no longer settles for breadcrumbs when he deserves the whole feast. The door isn't just closed, it's sealed with the quiet confidence of a man who finally chose himself. The ultimate revenge isn't hatred, it's evolution. One day, she scroll past photos of you thriving, surrounded by people who recognize your worth, and feel the gut punch of realization she had a king and traded him for temporary excitement. But by then you won't care, not because you're bitter, but because you've outgrown the version of yourself that ever settled for her half-hearted love. That's true power when her regret arrives too late to matter. This final stage isn't about her at all. It's about the man you became. Through the fire, the sleepless nights turned into iron discipline, the obsessive thoughts replaced by unshakable purpose. You'll catch your reflection and barely recognize the person who once begged for scraps of attention. Now you demand feasts of loyalty or nothing at all. Women sense this transformation like sharks smell blood and water. Suddenly you're because you changed tactics, but because you stopped playing games altogether. Let her hear through mutual friends about your success. Let her see you laughing with a woman who doesn't need drama to feel alive. The silent victory comes when you realize you're no longer waiting for her to understand what she lost. You're too busy being claimed by someone who knows exactly what she's found. The chapter didn't end how you wanted, but how you needed, with you standing taller, breathing freer, loving deeper, not despite her betrayal, but because you refuse to let it define you. That's how broken men become legends.